Hello everyone, this is Simon Duan, and I'm the founder of Meta Computics Labs based in the UK. The title of my talk today is The Simulation Hypothesis and Psi. In this talk, I'll start by reviewing the simulation hypothesis. I will then introduce the concept of Platonic computer, which is at the core of Meta Computics model. This is followed by presenting some supporting evidence of the existence of Platonic computer. Finally, I'll discuss the interdependence of simulation hypothesis and the parapsychology for their further development. The simulation hypothesis is a hot topic. If you search simulation hypothesis in Google, the search engine returns with over 1.2 billion results. Most of these entries of discussions focus on questions such as, is the universe a computer simulation? Or what are the chances that we live in a computer simulation? Unfortunately, is the universe a computer simulation is not a scientific question. If we focus on answering this question, we are missing the point. The true nature of the universe, or the universe in itself, according to Immanuel Kant, is unknowable. If it is unknowable, whatever we speculate the universe is cannot be the reality of the universe. If an elephant is unknowable to blind people, what they understand about the elephant can only be metaphors such as fan, pillar, tube, etc. Therefore, arguing whether the universe is a computer simulation is like arguing among the blind if an elephant is a fan or a pillar or a tube. Of course, the elephant is not a fan or a pillar. Of course, the universe is not a computer simulation. Is the universe a computer simulation is thus a pointless question to ask. Instead of asking, is the universe a computer simulation, we should focus on the more worthwhile question, can we model the universe as a computer simulation? These are two very different questions. Do you see the difference? By asking the right question, we get on the track to do science instead of just speculating. If we can build a model, we do science. In science, we rely heavily on metaphors to build the models of the universe. The metaphors are picked from concepts we are already familiar with. These concepts evolve through time too. In mechanical era, we had a conceptual metaphor such as clocks and watches, so we modeled the macro universe as a clock-like machine. When human society was electrified, we had electricity as a conceptual metaphor, so we modeled the micro-universe as electrically charged particles. Now we are in the information age. We have new conceptual metaphors available to us. The new conceptual tools available to us nowadays including computer, information processing, big data, simulation, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. With these new conceptual tools, we can build a new model of the universe. To build a new model of the universe based on computer simulation metaphor, we need to address a number of key questions. These questions include, where is the computer? Where does it come from? What is it made of? How is it built? What are its properties? And who or what is the programmer? To address the first question, where is the computer? We'll seek insights from arguably the greatest philosopher of all time. Whitehead once commented, "The safest general characterization of European philosophical tradition is that it consists of a series of footnotes to Plato." Plato is certainly no ordinary philosopher. I have little doubt that Plato is an enlightened being. Therefore, his insights ought to be taken seriously, particularly the insights into the ideal realm of forms. According to Plato, physical existence is a shadow or poor imitation of the ideal realm of existence. Abstract entities exist in the realm of forms, which operates as the fundamental reality. Material objects in the physical reality resemble their perfect abstract forms to varying degrees. For example, in the realm of forms, there is an ideal dog form, an abstract dogness as a universal. Dogs in the material reality of all shapes and sizes are shadows of this ideal dog form. Based on such principle, it is postulated that the everyday material computer made of silicon is only a shadow or poor imitation of the perfect abstract metaphysical computer that exists in the realm of forms. We call this abstract metaphysical computer Platonic computer. The physical computer resembles the way Platonic computer computes, so both computers do computation. The construction of Platonic computer is summarized in this diagram. I don't have time to go into details, but basically, metaconsciousness digitalizes itself so it becomes computable. The processing output of the computation is time, space, and the contents within space, i.e., the phenomenal universe. We call this model metacomputics. The core of metacomputics model is the presumption of the existence of an operating computer in Platonic realm. The Platonic computer is made by, of, with, and from metaconsciousness. Metaconsciousness is defined as the power to conceive, to perceive, and to be self-aware. It is the most fundamental and irreducible existence. For further detail on metacomputics model, please refer to my publications. In journal Philosophy of Science, published by Polish Academy of Science. In Proceeding of Philosophy of Computing Conference. And in journal Philosophy and Computers, published by the American Philosophical Association. Although we cannot access Platonic computer by our normal senses, we have access to its shadow, the physical computer. By manipulating the physical computer, we can learn a great deal about the Platonic computer. By programming a physical computer and generating virtual reality, we can simulate how Platonic computer generates physical reality. Metacomputics model offers a new perspective to many fundamental concepts, so they become easy to understand within the new theoretical framework. For example, time is the internal clock of Platonic computer operated by alternating binary states. This definition of time fits much better to our experience of time compared to what physics tells us. In physics, time is just the parameter t. Past, future, and present are the same t. Past and future are even symmetrical. Whereas in metacomputics model, past is the processed metadata, future is the metadata yet to be processed. The present is the moment when metadata is being processed. 3D space is processing output of Platonic computation. Space is not given. Without computation, 3D space doesn't even exist. In our model, space functions as a 3D display made of pixels. Once we have a 3D display, we can then display infinite amount of diverse contents, i.e. the universe. The contents of the space are also processing output of Platonic computation. With this new paradigm, we will have new perspective. From a new perspective, we will have new understanding of the universe. We are able to explain many phenomena which we couldn't explain before. In metacomputics framework, matter is a stable data structure programmed to have physical, chemical, or biological properties. For instance, those pool balls are programmed to behave as though they are solid balls. The solidity is determined and achieved by programming. Laws of nature expressed by physics are approximation of program subroutine in Platonic computer. An apple is programmed to fall at an acceleration of 9.8 meters per second square. Magnets are programmed to repel or attract to each other according to their polarity. Physics still cannot explain what causes magnetism. Here we explain it with programming. We postulate that in metacomputics database, there is a subset of data which have a highly stable data structure and robust program to govern those data structures. This subset of data structure thus appear at phenomenological level as obeying the law of physics. Therefore, physics is a special case of metacomputics. What is entanglement? In metacomputics model, the two particles are basically two outputs in 3D space from running the same program. It is like two dots on the computer screen. They entangle by programming. Platonic computation not only outputs physical reality, it is also responsible for producing non-physical realities in parallel universes, such as what we experience in ESP state, in dreaming state, in meditation state, in psychedelic state, and in near-death state. The perceptual experience in these states of consciousness, according to this model, are not illusion or fantasy. They are processing output of Platonic computer as parallel universes. With this model, we can also understand how psi works. If physics is a set of programs, then in theory, the program can be suspended or altered locally and temporarily. For example, if gravity program is suspended, levitation could happen. If solidity program is suspended, metal would become extremely malleable. As we can see, the proposed model of metacomputics is able to offer a coherent narrative of how the perceived phenomenal world arises from meta-consciousness. It also has explanatory power to explain not only phenomena that are covered by physics, but also phenomena that cannot be explained by existing materialistic science theories. A big problem we have here is, do we have evidence to prove the existence of Platonic computer? The Platonic computer, according to this model, is located in Platonic realm. But does Platonic realm even exist? It is not possible to access the Platonic realm by our normal senses or by using current scientific instruments. However, we cannot deny the existence of abstract entities such as numbers, geometric shapes, and other universals. Numbers are not physical objects. No one has ever bumped into the number 2 or tripped over the number 3. We cannot find number 4 in the kitchen cupboard. And yet, we do things with numbers all the time. We count with them. We measure things with them. We formulate our scientific theories with them. Without the existence of numbers, we wouldn't be able to have a physics. Without physics, there wouldn't be science. Numbers has a reality independent of physical reality. They have to be accommodated somewhere outside space and time, i.e., in Platonic realm. If Platonic realm contains mathematics, can it also contain a computer? We'll discuss the supporting evidence for the reality of Platonic computer using savant syndrome and the existence of non-physical calculator. Savant syndrome is a condition in which someone with significant mental disability demonstrates certain abilities far in excess of average. Calendar savant, for example, can name the day of the week of the date in a range of a millennium. There are well-documented cases of autistic children who can give answers to complex mathematical problems. The answers just appear to them, indicating that their minds function as a display of computation output. This is a Chinese autistic savant called Zhou Wei. He has been on many TV shows where he demonstrates his capability of getting answers to complex math problems. This is one of the TV shows called The Brain, where a randomly chosen audience gave a math problem on a whiteboard. The problem is then passed on to him. He then writes down the answer. According to him, the answers just appear to him, and he doesn't know where they come from. Capabilities such as this can also be acquired through ESP training. In China, there are many private ESP training centers for children to acquire ESP capabilities as a means to improve their school performance. Some parents send their children for ESP training as extracurricular activity. The children are trained to use their mind vision for touch reading, remote viewing, and thoughtography. This is one of the competitions held among different ESP training centers in China. The competitions include restoring Rubik's Cube blindfolded and play basketball blindfolded. They have to use their mind vision instead of physical eyes to complete the tasks. The children can be trained to access a non-physical calculator to get answers to math problems. A calculator appears in their mind vision, and they can simply key in the math problem in their mind vision, and the answer then appears in their mind vision. This is one of the sessions where the trainer gives the math problem by randomizing the digits using a deck of cards. In this case, the math problem is a 20-digit number to the power of 2-digit number. The girl keys in these digits in a non-physical calculator in her mind vision, and then reads out the answers displayed in her mind vision. The answer is then checked using a physical calculator. This is another ESP training center in Zhejiang, China, where the children learn to access non-physical calculator among other ESP skills. For these children, the non-physical calculator is an objective instrument which they can interact with in their mind vision. Among these children, it's regarded as a publicly perceivable object. The mind vision can also be transferred into mobile phone image gallery by thoughtography. It appears that images held in those children's mind vision can be airdropped into image gallery of a mobile phone nearby. This is an example of practice sessions children undergo ESP training do as homework. This boy is working on some math problems assigned by the trainer using the non-physical calculator in his mind vision. The assignment is to write down the answer displayed in his mind vision on the answer sheet, and also to airdrop his mind vision into the image gallery in his mobile phone nearby. This is a thoughtographic video clip taken by a child of the process of keying math problems into the non-physical calculator in his mind vision. The light ball is the focus of his attention, and it is used to key in the math problem he is working on. This thoughtographic video clip shows that the non-physical calculator in the mind vision can display as many digits in the answer as needed. The digits in the answer appear to be endless. He can also bring the digits forward as well as backwards with the focus of his attention displayed here as a light ball. This is one of the exercises kids attending ESP training do as homework. The boy will pick up a random paper sample which contains 5 symbols but are folded and stapled. The samples are provided by the trainer. Firstly, he will label the sample. And also label the recording sheet. He will then use ESP to display the content in his mind vision and write down the content on the recording sheet. So he's writing down his answers on the recording sheet. After he has recorded the content on the recording sheet, he will airdrop the content in his mind vision onto his mom's mobile phone nearby. He's calling his mom to come to unlock the phone. Here comes his mom. The phone is locked, so it needs his mom's fingerprint to unlock it. The new image added to the image gallery is then displayed. This is what the boy airdropped onto this phone as a new image. And then the two results are compared. The recording sheets record the same image, the same sample. The original sample are then cut open. And this is compared with the recording sheet. It's perfect match. Then it's compared with the image on the mobile phone, which the boy airdropped using Thoughtography. This is an online testing session I conducted recently using Zoom. 7 children in China participated in the session with their parents and ESP trainers. The math problems were given by me using an online random number generator. All 7 children succeeded in getting the right answer using the non-physical calculator in their mind vision, and 5 of them succeeded airdropping their mind vision of the non-physical calculator into the mobile phone of their parents placed nearby. As ESP is incompatible with current materialist science, I don't expect these results will be accepted by the mainstream scientific community, not yet anyway. Within SPR community, however, I'm hoping we can take these results seriously. If anyone in the community is interested in looking into this ESP and Thoughtography further, we can collaborate on further robust experimental protocols and programs working with those children. If we can confirm the existence of the non-physical operating calculator, we would obtain a supporting evidence for the existence of the Platonic computer. As we have seen, the simulation hypothesis is heavily dependent upon parapsychology research and experimentation to provide evidence and to verify or falsify its many predictions. Of course, many of the suggested parapsychological experiments have been done in the past. However, they have been largely ignored or rejected by mainstream scientific community. Now, if they are part of an experimental program to verify or falsify a new theory, these experiments and experimental results will become more meaningful and impactful to scientists. It is hoped that the further development of the simulation hypothesis and its predictions will engage and involve more mainstream scientists into parapsychological experimental programs. Being an important part of verification program for a new scientific theory, parapsychology will become an advanced and respected new science discipline. Parapsychology and the simulation hypothesis are mutually dependent upon each other. If psi is not accepted, simulation hypothesis cannot be proven. If simulation hypothesis is not accepted, psi cannot be explained. They can be likened to twin engines of an airplane. Only when working together, real and significant progress in post-materialistic science will be made. As a result, a new renaissance, a new era of human civilization will start to dawn. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to further discussion and collaboration.